Hi, Goddess of Awesome here, and today is day 9 of my final sensual massage tour, and I wanted to bring up something that I saw in the paper a couple days ago. I haven't had a chance to do a video for you yet on it, but I just looked over the article, and I definitely am not trying to show you where I am, and mostly because I want to be respectful, right? I don't want to be disrespectful to any of these towns. I'm going through a lot of conservative places, and you know, they're not into this in general, you know, and they're not trying to, you know, they don't want sleaze in their town. Now, I don't think what I do is sleaze, you know. It's an amazing healing service, a modality of healing for those who are seriously lacking touch, lacking affection, lacking connection in their life, you know. So these services that I perform, that I serve, you know, my service is for others, there's validity, right? I mean, they are needed. These people need these kinds of services. So it's a good thing that it exists somewhere. Can you imagine if sex workers didn't exist? Like how many more rapes would happen? How many more children might be fondled? How many more people, young, middle-aged, it doesn't matter, older people are preying on the elders right now. They don't have a lot of money. They're trying to get them to do pornography and stuff just because, you know, one more piece of content in their libraries on their sites. But who are they getting? They're getting people who should be in nursing homes to show you stuff. So all of that is, you know, it's kind of, they all kind of put it under one umbrella. And I kind of get that. But, you know, sensual massage is kind of a vein or a branch in the industry that is more closely related to healing than probably any other branch in the adult industry. So real quick, I just want to show you the picture of the, I don't know if you can see this. Do you see that? So it's a massage place. They're saying, you know, it's open. Look at the guy, look at his knees. Like he's face up, right? If he was getting a back massage, his knees wouldn't be bent that way. And obviously, maybe that's a girl. I mean, she doesn't have hair. It could be a guy. Guys do massage like this for guys. Guys do massage like this for girls, you know? And then look at the little heart, you know, kind of insinuating like some kind of love is happening, or, you know, that's a very telling picture. So what this article is talking about is Asian massage parlors, and it said that across the nation there's probably 9,000 at least illicit massage places out there who are open with a storefront, right? They have an address and a business address and a storefront, like they're offering massage, but clearly they're offering it just for boys, or they're specifically targeting just boys. So that's brought up some attention in this town, and probably every other conservative town in the nation, even the non-conservative towns. I mean, nobody wants riffraff in their town. I totally get it, which is why I'm not sharing where I'm going. I'm not trying to ruin these towns for the people who live here or for those who visit them, you know? But I did want to talk a little bit about what this article had mentioned, and then I'll wrap it up. They talked about trafficking, you know? Yeah, human trafficking is never okay, right? Never. And maybe it's true that some of these people are indentured servants, right? Maybe they're slaves, right? Maybe they've come to America, they have a huge bill of their passage, whatever it costs to get them here. They have to work that off. You know, it's true for a lot of people who are working in these kinds of places, you know. So I understand trying to stop that, right? I understand trying to save the girls who maybe are slaves, help them. You know, these girls don't speak English at all, like a drop, not a drop, you know. If you go to other Asian places that are doing Asian massage, and there are some bona fide, credible Asian places out there who only do strictly therapeutic massage, you know, there's language barriers there too, but sometimes they speak a few more words. In this article, it made it sound like they have to use interpreters on their phones and almost like they're coached to look out for trouble. I don't know. I don't know if any of that's embroidered or how relevant all the facts are. I don't know how true all the facts are that they're stating. We have to keep in mind, always save a little space, that when you read anything in a paper or you see something on television, you know, they're telling you what they want you to know or what they want you to think. Doesn't necessarily mean it's true. Okay, we always need to be discerning and always need to feel the energy that's given to us. We need to feel it, see if it feels right or not, you know? So I don't agree with human trafficking or indentured servants or sex slaves. No. So I understand cleaning up towns from that, and I respect that, and I think those people should be helped, you know? But I also want to say that for someone like myself who's completely independent, right? I do my own advertising, I answer my own phones, I finance my own trips, I don't pay anybody out at the end of the day, I don't tip out the house, I don't tip out the person who's working the phones, you know. I'm purely independent, 100%, you know. I'm calling my own shots. I stay when I want to stay, I leave when I want to leave. That's not trafficking. So some girls might get busted and have it called trafficking when it's not. So I want to put that out there so you understand that when someone is an independent provider and they're cognitive and they're making their own choices and they're of age, right? They're over the age of 18, you know, and they're making choices and they're working independently, that is not trafficking, right? That's not trafficking. It's when you're working somebody, when you're like a madam or a pimp, right? Would have a variety of people that they promote and would deal with the phones and book them. You know, it's a lot of here's something that needs to be said. Some working girls have a really hard time doing the phone. Working the phone is very advanced. It takes a long time for you to hear if someone's serious or if they're real. You know, when you first get in the gig, you might think every caller is serious or every caller was genuine, because you might, you know, you don't know that some people just try your phone to see if you'll answer. They'll try your phone to see if they can get you to answer a whole bunch of questions, and they're not cops. They're real people who just want to waste your time, get a little free phone sex. You know, it may not be phone sex, right? You're just telling them what you do, but who knows what they're doing on the other side of the phone while you're talking to them. You know, you don't know. So it takes a seasoned ear to be able to hear certain things, you know. And so some girls, when they first get in the work, find it incredibly challenging and scary to answer the phone. They're not confident enough to read it energetically, hear it, you know, make a quick decision. And it is quick. You have to decide, like, did I get a good reading or did I get a feeling of, I'm not sure what that is. If you get and you're not sure, then hang it up and wait for the next call. You don't need to take a risk on anything like that, you know? So I just want to say that some people, when they first start, might need somebody to answer a phone for them. And is that trafficking? I don't know. I'm going to say it's a very gray area, because if they're of age and maybe, you know, I've had people want to be my apprentice. I only took one reluctantly, and I'll have to share that story with you. She was 20, it was around Christmas time, and a client who knew her tried to get me to groom her into this world. I did not want to do it. I absolutely didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to have the risk, you know. There's a whole bunch of stuff, but it was Christmas, and, you know, I felt kind of bad after a minute, you know, like she didn't have no money for Christmas. I don't know. It didn't last long. You know, she was young. When you're young and you do this sort of work, there can be some out there who have it together, but most of them don't. And the reason why is because they're young and they just found it. And they also just found their freedom, right? They just got out of the house. They're 18 or 19. They just got free from parental control, parental seeing them, you know, and when they come into this work, if they find themselves into any branch of this work, be it a dancer or a massage person or whatever, you know, they'll only work for a minute till they get what the money they need, and then they'll come back to work, but only when they need money. And now that is true too for a lot of providers. We only work to cover our bills. You know, some of you out there might think, my God, you know, you could really rack it up if you just worked yourself all the time, and you probably could. But I don't know anybody whose spirit could do that 365 days a year, you know, or shave off a couple days for weekends. But how can you do that 340 days out of the year, you know, 325 days out of the year? It's a lot. So what girls do in general, I mean, you can please comment if you think I'm wrong, ladies, but I think most people in this work, you know, we work to cover our bills, and when our bills are covered, we don't work, you know? Like, I would cover my bills for a few months, and then I would not work for like 3 months. That was nice. I haven't had, my last couple of years have been different. I recovered from being knocked off my horse, so to speak. And when I did recover, when I was in the recovery process of that, I literally started acquiring more horses, because I could kind of see that as a business. And I'll have to get more into that as another video. But anyways, so I wouldn't have worked myself this hard for so long if I wasn't financing horses. You know, we pretty much just work to cover what we need and whatever goals we have, and then when we don't go back into the work. It's not a work that you thirst for. You're not like, oh yes, I get to go to work today. Like most providers, that's not how we start our day. You know, we're like, I gotta go to work today. And we try to coach ourselves to get our mind on, our mind frame in the right order so we can go to work today and be on, you know. But it's definitely a drudge, you know, or a dread when you know it's time to go back to work, or it's time to answer the phone, or it's time to go back to the club if you're a dancer, you know. It's a, oh, God, okay, all right, okay, I can do it, all right, let's go, I'm ready, okay, let's do it, I can do it today. Today, we can do this. You know, that's kind of how it is. You have to move yourself from not wanting to pumping yourself and psyching yourself out to go. And that process can be draining, you know. So most girls who work, they don't mush themselves as hard as they possibly could, you know. I think any of the luckiest working girls in the world are probably in Manhattan. And the only reason I say that is because some of them might have come across financial advisors, right? Some of them may have come across finance Mongols who, they know what's up, they know how to invest, they know how to make some money. Some of them may have been fortunate enough to find one who really resonated with her and felt like extending a hand, sharing some of his wisdom, you know? I can leave space for that. So some of those Manhattan girls are lucky. But for all the chicks in between, you know, who don't have a mentor come to them who can groom them into a new financial space, you know, we only work to cover the bills. And then we don't work until it's time to cover the bills again. So getting back to this Asian stuff, maybe some of them are slaves, right? And that's awful. That stuff needs to go away. I mean, women need to be empowered. If they're going to do this kind of work, they should be working for themselves, right? That's the only way. The only way any woman should ever be a provider of any kind of sex work is if she works for herself. And she's running her own show. She's calling her own shots. She wakes up when she wants and she goes to bed when she chooses. She doesn't have anyone telling her she needs to come to work right now. She doesn't have anyone asking her to split what she made and give half away because they handled a phone call. You know what I mean? She should be fully independent, operating her own business, dealing with her own email, her own marketing, her own financing of things, her own telephone answering. You know, when you do start out and you do start answering the phone and it's scary as hell, you know, it's like you got to cut your teeth on it a little bit. You know, you're going to lose some people because you won't have the right words. And eventually the right words happen. Somewhere along the way you realize less is more, and you don't say too much. You just say just enough. And that just enough is what gets people to say, come in. You know, don't tell your people too much stuff. They don't want to hear it. They also don't want to hear about your problems. So anybody who's a provider who wants to use your time with them to have some mental purging or emotional purging or venting, go find a tree or a friend. And if you don't have any friends, go to nature. Go find a tree or a rock. Rocks are very receptive too. You'd be surprised. But I like trees. You can tell a tree anything, you know? So anyways, there's a lot to cover on this subject, and I can't get it all done right now. But I did want to show you what happened in this town. So, isn't that interesting? And it even says, look at gentlemen wanted. I mean, how much more blatant can you be? I don't know if this is a picture of a real space or place in this town. This could just be some clip art, you know, or a stock photo of some nature. But isn't it interesting though, right? That I don't know if it's in the viewfinder, that his knees are up. So obviously he's face up, and look where she is. She's right where, well, she should be a little bit more lower, but you get what I mean. So trafficking's never okay. If you're to do this work, I think you should be an independent person. That's the only way. And definitely need to help the people who are indentured slaves. And if you have a legitimate business, yeah, I don't know, you know, a storefront, and you're offering full body massage like the style I do, you're definitely going to probably get in trouble, you know, and no guy wants to get in trouble. So a lot of guys avoid places like that. Most guys would rather come see me, even if I'm staying at a hotel, as opposed to going there, you know. Some guys won't go to hotels at all, so it just depends on the person. Hotels are used a lot for sting operations, so, you know, guys get scared. But when you have a good reputation and you have some great reviews out there and you're a trusted provider, and you end up doing better when you go to different towns. People can look you up and they know you're real. So, okay, so that's all. I just wanted to share that with you. That was on the front page a couple days back in this town. Day number 9. I'm gonna pack up. I'm gonna go hit my spin class. From spin, I'm just gonna take a shower there and get in the car and head down the way to go make an instructional video for you tonight. Really excited. This person has made some devices and contraptions of his own mind. There's nothing like them out there. I've never seen anything like these, so I'm gonna help him patent them and find him a sourcing company. I'm gonna help him get them up on Amazon. Anybody who's interested in this kind of work that I do, go to Amazon.com, go to the bottom of the website, the very, very bottom, and start reading all the things that talks about start your own business, the affiliate program. Go there. That's where you want to go. You truly, as much as this is an interesting world, and maybe you do belong here, there are some healers who are supposed to do this work. You know, we can't take that away. But in general, for any girl who's curious, if you need money and you're trying to float, right? You're trying to survive. You're trying not drown in the world of society because you can't make your ends meet. Either team up with a friend and put your money together to have to co-own an Amazon store until one of you can buy each other out, and then you can make your own store, or keep a business partner and do it together. It might help with, you know, researching. You could split the chores. But I would definitely go into the digital market. Go into the digital economy. It's the one that's going to last. It's going to serve you for a long time. And, You know, that's all I have to say about that. You don't need to come here if you need a means to an end. It's safer, way safer and better in the long run to just go into the digital market. It exists. Just explore it. I mean, I definitely want to get on the Amazon kick, you know, but look what I'm doing. I'm sharing what I know, right? The digital economy has fascinated me for a long time. And the more I learn about it, the more I'm like, oh my God, that is the ship I need to be on. Get me on that train and get me on it now, you know? That's why I created this station for you. That's why I'm creating a website for you. You know, it's obviously for me too, right? It's going to help me get to higher ground, help free me from this work. But it's the way. It's the modern way, you know? So you may have things unrelated to what I know, but you may know some stuff. And if you know some stuff and you know what you know, and you know that people might, you know, benefit from it, then it's really time to start your YouTube channel, you know. I don't know how fast it will grow. I just started this and it's, you know, I expect it to grow slowly, you know. I don't know. Maybe it will pick up. I have no idea when it will pick up, but the idea is to put it out there, right? So that's what I would suggest. Find something you could do that online. Create an online store, share some information, whatever it is you can do online. The marketplace is incredible. It's the entire globe, you know? So it's way better than doing what I'm doing, going around from city to city. It's better to just go into the digital economy. You'll save a couple decades of your life, right? No one thinks they're gonna get in the industry and stay there forever, but that happens so often, right, ladies? I'm sure there's some of you out there nodding your head right now. We never meant to be in here this long. It wasn't supposed to be like that. It was just supposed to be for a little while. It's a stepping stone, just a means to an end. And somehow, some way, becomes some kind of tar pit with a lot of suction and a lot of grip. And once you get stuck in that tar pit, you can't get out. It's like quicksand almost. It's not exactly like quicksand because it doesn't suck you in. It does suck you in. I guess it could kill you. It could kill your spirit. It definitely could kill your spirit. I mean, you might still be alive, of course, but your gleam and your sparkle, it might kill that. Or not. Depends on the person. But I would highly recommend not coming into this work if you can avoid it. And I definitely would say go into the digital economy if you can. And if you're a kid at home who's thinking about becoming a dancer and home really, really sucks, and I totally get that, check out Amazon, try to find a mentor on Amazon, on YouTube. You're on YouTube, just switch the station and go find Amazon.com right now. I mean, Amazon FBA, and you'll find someone you resonate with. And they'll be a little bit expensive. They will, you know, to help you. But if you can save the money you make for 2 or 3 months, I don't know how much you get paid, but if you can save $1,000 or $1,500 and you make an educated, you take an, you research it and you make you take an educated risk. You take a calculated risk. That's what I'm trying to say. A calculated risk is much better than just aimlessly just moving forward on something. You don't know how good it's going to do, you know? So get yourself an Amazon FBA coach and go into the digital market. That's where you'll find your security, you'll thrive, and you'll find freedom, you know? Because this work gives you some freedom, right? You're watching me go all over. It's kind of freedom. But as free as I am, I'm still kind of in a cage. I'm kind of in a box. A glass case, actually. Kind of feel like a doll in a glass case. You can see me, but you can't touch me. Not really, and I can't ever get out. You know, it's really sad. Really sad to be a doll in a glass case who can't get out. It's like a prison. It has some freedom, but it is like a cage. So you don't want to come here. You don't. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing to get out. So, okay, I'm rambling right now. I'm going to let it go. So that's all I have to say about that. That was interesting article, and interesting, right, in general. So, okay. I am the Goddess of Awesome. Thank you so much for being here with me today. If you enjoyed this video at all, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to hear more, please subscribe. And in the meantime, bright blessings and be well.